Welcome to my channel, Gadgets for Gentlemen. Today I'm wearing my vintage Tudor Prince Oyster date and I'm wearing it on the original stainless steel bracelet, which has a bit of an oyster style. And as you can see, this bracelet also has hollow endlings, drilled lock holes, and it has this beautiful Rolex oyster case. So I recently got this watch back from my watchmaker and I'm super glad that everything is working impeccable. It keeps great time and I'm super happy that I got it back. So let's put it back on the wrist. Today what I like to do is present you this watch. This is the SEIKO SNZF17, also called the Urchin. And first, two things. This is not the original watch box, and this is not the original bracelet. So here I have the original bracelet. This is the SEIKO clasp, and as you can see, the style of the bracelet is oyster style. Hollow endlings, and we have a few micro adjustments, so you should find a proper fit without too much of an effort. And also these links, they have screws, so it's fairly easy to remove these screws and remove a few links or add a few links and then screw it back. We have hollow endlings. We have pushers here on the sides, and we have this signed clasp. I really like the original stainless steel bracelet. What I dislike about the bracelet is there's no tapering, so the width of the bracelet is 22 millimeters all the way, and the width of the bracelet does not size down to the buckle, unlike my SEIKO SKX 009 and SKX 013. I think when the bracelet tapers down, it's prettier. If you want to see the original watch box of this watch, then please have a look at my unboxing video. So let's proceed by going over this watch. Let me bring it a bit closer to the camera. What we have here is a SEIKO 5 series sports watch. We're dealing with a water resistant of 100 meters. We have a day and date feature at the 3 o'clock position with a very beautiful inlay. If you can see it here around, we have some metallic details. Beautiful dial. As you can see, the hour markers are applied, and that's done very precisely. It looks very beautiful. And on top of those hour markers, we have applied lume dots. So you should be able to operate this watch in the dark, and also on those big sword style hands, we can see plenty of lume. And also on the counterbalance of the second hand, you can see a lume dot. So we have the caliber 7S36 inside of this watch. That is a proper workhorse. As you can see it, I'm wearing it on a Zulu Diver NATO strap. I think this is desert sand colored. And this is a 22 millimeter NATO strap. I just prefer wearing it on a NATO strap. Now let me show you that movement that I just mentioned. Here we can see that movement in action. The caliber 7S36. And as you can see, when I rotate the watch, we can see the rotor on this side moving, which means we're dealing with an automatic watch. So we charge the watch by simply wearing it on the wrist, or put it in a watch winder, and the movement will fully charge. When it's fully charged, we have a power reserve of 40 hours. So we can put it down for 40 hours, and then finally the watch will stop moving. The movement has 23 joules. The watch is 100 meters water resistant, which I think is enough for normal swimming, but not enough for scuba diving. If we move to the 3 o'clock position, we see the crown. The crown is non-signed and it's non-screw. I think the crown is relatively small in comparison to the overall shape of the watch. We have a case diameter of 42 millimeters. We have a lock width of 22 millimeters. Lock to lock, which is this distance, is 49 millimeters. And I think that's a lot. We're dealing with a thickness from the crystal on the front to the crystal on the back of 12.5 millimeters. The crystal on the front is a hardlex mineral. I think overall this is a great everyday watch. The watch will not let you down. I think the movement has its limitations in terms of no options for hand winding, no options for hacking. I really like the quick set option of the date. So when I take the crown into the second position, I can adjust the time, as you can see here. So let's say this is 6 in the morning, and then when I want to change the day and the date, I move the crown in the first position, and when I move upwards, we can change the date, as you can see here, 15, 16, 17, and when I move downwards, we can see there's an Arabic wheel in this date. And when I continue, we go back to English, to Thursday, Arabic again, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Sunday is in red text. So I really like this this function of the quick set for the day and date. Makes this watch very easy to set. If you see all around here, we have this bezel, which is quite easy to grip. The bezel is 120 clicks, and we can only move it in one direction, which is anti-clockwise. Let me show you. This is how we operate the bezel. And as you can see, the bezel is very solid, but easy to operate. And it gives strong feedback with those clicks. I use the bezel when I wear it all the time to measure time, to set little countdowns for myself. Let's say, for example, I want to take a half an hour break. Then I will put the 12 o'clock position in alignment with the minute hand. For example, like this. So I align this arrow with the minute hand. And now when the minute hand reaches the 30 minutes on the bezel, then I know 30 minutes have elapsed. So I really like bezels. You can find bezels mostly on dive watches. And again, I don't think this is a proper dive watch because it's only 100 meters water resistant. So let me throw it on the wrist and show you what it looks like. So here I have it on my wrist. My wrists are relatively small, only 6.3 inches. And as you can see, the watch wears quite tall on my wrist. With these lug-to-lug distance of 49, this watch is just small enough to wear on my wrist. But I think it's on the bigger side. And I think it's very comfortable. But I think if you have bigger wrists than 6.3 inches, and the chance is, I think, very high, then this watch will wear more comfortable on your wrist. For me, it's a bit too big. Yeah, it's a bit thick. And that's also part of the design of this watch as a sports watch. And also because of that second crystal on the back, that exhibition case back. I really like the design of this watch. I think it resembles the Rolex Submariner. And this watch retails for about $140 US. For that kind of money, I think this is not the best watch that you can buy. And I will explain why. For $10 more, you can buy this watch. And what we have here is the Orient Ray 2. And there's also a version called the Orient Mako. And this watch is a proper dive watch. I think it's not ISO certified, but at least it's 200 meters waterproof or water resistant. It also has a day and date window at the 3 o'clock position. Also beautiful sword hand hands, very nice bezel, beautiful matte black dial. It has a screw down crown and it's signed. No exhibition case back, just a solid case. And this watch also comes on a very nice bracelet. Here we have the stainless steel bracelet with the Orient logo. Also 22 millimeters in width, also non-tapered. We have these polish parts here, these links, and a few micro adjustments, pushers, clasp, hollow end links. So a watch I think that can really compare to this watch. In terms of size, we're dealing with a slightly smaller watch. This has a case diameter of 41.5, so only half a millimeter smaller than the SEIKO. In terms of thickness, it's a little bit thicker with 12.8 millimeters, but that's almost the same. And a lug-to-lug distance of 46.5. So this distance, it's much shorter compared to the SEIKO. And for my smaller wrist, I think that makes the Orient much more comfortable to wear. Then in terms of the movement, we have hacking and we have hand wind. So all in all, what I can say, oh, and sorry, yeah, I think I already mentioned, this watch is 200 meters water resist. So, and I think the layout of the dial, I think it's more original than the Seiko's. So what I can say all in all, this is a beautiful Seiko watch. We have 21,600 beats per hour. Great watch, great bezel, great lume, day and date, quick set. Really like this watch, but I think for the $140 this watch comes at, I think a better choice could be the Orient Ray or Orient Mako, or maybe go buy yourself a Seiko SKX 009, 007 or 013 to have yourself a more original watch and also a watch with better features. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, then please feel free to leave your comment and question, and I will get back to you. If you found this video useful or enjoyable, then please like and subscribe to my channel. See you soon.